Are you trying to make $100,000, but you just can't seem to make more money than what you are making in your current 9-to-5 job? Do you feel stuck in a rut and you feel like you're never going to be able to exit the rat race? Stick around, because in this video, I'm going to be sharing my secret habits that made me my first $100,000. And you're going to want to stay till the end of this video, because the second habit is really the key to finding success. Aloha, my name is Stacey Johnson. On this channel, we teach you how to find your first deal and get paid. That way you can be on your way to living the life of your dreams, whether that's traveling, hanging out with more family, and doing whatever you please. If you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you like this video, because it definitely helps me get it out to more people. That way I can help more people build wealth. Let's get right into it. Today I'm going to be talking about my top 2 habits of how I was able to make my first $100,000. Now, first things first is a morning routine. This simple habit helped me get into a rhythm on a daily basis to start my day on a good note. Now, what does that morning routine look like for someone like me who does real estate investing full time? When it comes to having a 9-to-5, you can get into this routine over and over again, but when you work for yourself, it's super difficult to get into a routine if you're not being disciplined. So for me, when I would wake up, first thing I would do is obviously use the bathroom, brush my teeth. But then the next thing that I would do when I was trying to get my first 100,000 was to write out I am statements. So every single morning I spent writing, I am a millionaire. I am a successful investor. I am a deal closer. Just all these different things that made me put myself into this person that I wanted to be. The next thing I did was to open up my Bible and do some kind of devotional or spend time with God, do some prayer. Then the third thing I would do is go work out. Typically, I would either go run or do some kind of weightlifting exercise. And when I would come home from the gym, I would shower, make a green smoothie, and have that smoothie on my desk as I start my day. And typically, we'll start with my most important task. That way, we get everything that we need to get done up front, and then we can move to other miscellaneous things that aren't as important to get done that day. And this morning routine allowed me to put myself in a routine that puts my body in a work mode. Without that morning routine, if I just got on the computer and started working, I just wasn't in the mindset that I wanted to be in. And again, everybody's different. Some people, like Alex and Mosey, can just get out of bed and go work, but that just didn't work for me. So for me, specifically when it came to making my first $100,000, I really needed to be disciplined with my morning routine. And even after $100,000, I'm still very disciplined in the morning routine. It just changes a little bit from time to time, depending on what my goals are at the time, or if I'm doing traveling and whatnot. But having some kind of morning routine puts you into a work mode. That way you can use this second habit that is probably the most important thing to do in order to make your first $100,000. Now, that second thing is tracking your numbers. When it comes to making your first $100,000, you have your input and your output. So your output is $100,000. You want to make $100,000 worth of profit. Now, that is something that you're going to be measuring, but you should also be measuring your input. When it comes to making that $100,000, yes, let's say you make 10K and you just keep on tracking how much money you're making, but you also need to be tracking what it's going to take to get there. And this is where people get lost when it comes to making goals, is that they set these hefty goals, but then they don't have these input goals to match it. So they say they want to make $100,000, but in order to get there, they need to talk to sellers. And when you ask them how many sellers they talked to or how many offers they made, they say 0. So how are you going to get to $100,000 if you're not measuring your inputs? And this is literally the most important part about getting that goal that you're trying to get, especially as we start the new year. You want to set goals for not only what you're trying to reach as your output, but also your inputs. So for me specifically, when I was the acquisition manager for my real estate investing business, I would have cold callers calling people all over Hawaii, seeing if they're looking to sell. And I wanted to do $100,000 in profit. So my measurement for the input was how many sellers am I talking to on a daily basis? So if I got 3 or 4 leads per day, I was probably talking to 10 sellers per day. And with this metric, it doesn't mean that I'm calling 10 sellers every day. It means that I want to have 10 quality conversations. And it could mean some days I'm calling 50 people to have 10 conversations. Some days I'm calling 20 people to have 10 conversations. Sometimes I'm calling 10 people to have 10 conversations. You just never know. And it's super important to track these things, because when it comes to reaching your goals, let's say that you make one deal and you make $10,000, but it took 100 leads and 10 appointments to get that one $10,000 deal. And over time, you're able to see, okay, I need 100 leads to get 10 appointments to get one $10,000 deal. And so if I want to make $100,000, then I need to do that times 10. And this is why it's so important to track your numbers, and why this number one secret is going to be the thing that gets you out of the rat race and making your first $100,000. That way you can be on your way to living a full life and traveling the world. If you guys found some value in that video, make sure you hit that like button. It really helps me get this video out to more people. Really appreciate you being part of the channel. See you on the next video. Shoots.